Can Zeke deke again? Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is Madden NFL football on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Check 43.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Starting lineup time for the offense. What about Dwayne Brown, my friend?
Remember when we were kids and you wanted to make sure you had the big guy next to you all the time because you needed a bodyguard? That's Dwayne Brown at left tackle. He protects his quarterback so well as provides great access in the running game.
From the 29, Wilson. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They've been pretty good against the pass. Not amazing, but good. Number 13 in the league.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one because guess what? They're facing the number 1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. From the shotgun, Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Certainly not what they wanted there. No gain, and it's 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here's Rodriguez on 1st and 10. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, But you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows him.
The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If the ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
A nice pickup on first down, 7 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On second down, Elliott. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. The numbers for Zeke from last week, well into the triple digits, and they'll take that every time out.
What I loved was just how decisive he was running the football. Coaches like guys that go north and south. They don't like the east-west guys, the juking and the jiving. 1 foot in the ground and cut.
Go! 6-1. Line 50, line 50. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action, and take your shot at the end zone.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. And on this offensive unit, your thoughts on Travis Frederick?
He's a quarterback's best friend. Sets all the line calls and blocks so aggressively.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at him with another one.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Robert Kimdichie just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, 1st down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on 2nd down.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. 2nd and 10. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
We got this.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And the first drive, 3 and out. 2nd possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense...
And he will go down, a Cowboys sack.
I'm going to hit you all day.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line.
They don't want
Anthony Brown there on the tackle.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October, because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started. At the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes.
Tight down. There you go.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the 1st. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Let's take a glance now at the starting defense for Seattle. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And this group talks all the time about wanting to be better, getting stronger against the run. And to me, it all starts up front. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to play against the run very well.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On the counter, Elliott. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control.
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Cooper was the target there. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it's 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. To throw again. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They go play action here on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Grant. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. It's Christian Covington who notches the sack there. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. They run it with Carson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down now. It's Carson. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
You ready?
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Now Rodriguez looking to throw on 2nd down. Going to take it, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And that was a young pup, the rookie, being intercepted by a veteran DB.
And I loved our quick conversation in pregame with him on the field where he said, hey, look, I love playing these young quarterbacks. They don't know a whole lot yet, so I can use my mind to put me in a position to make a play.
After the interception, here's Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
We got this.
They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Henry's got it out on the left side.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll try the sweep with Elliott. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Call it an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And it's complete. Henry. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down. I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit, but how about the comeback? I mean, he came back from beating cancer and getting back to Pro Bowl level, one of the best players in the game. His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
A field goal would break the tie, but look at this. Instead, they're going to go for it on 4th and goal.
Mike 54. Mike 54.
On 4th down, Rodriguez. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Hunter Henry, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Seahawks on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Throwing to start the drive, Rodriguez. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Rodriguez back to the air on second down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw is Rodriguez. From the gun, he'll throw. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Check my 50. Mike is a 50. Check my 50.
Rodriguez now going to throw again. And this is going to be incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Here's Rodriguez on third down. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. So let's glance at a player's spotlight now with Russell Wilson. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection is struggle.
Check 55 to Mike. I want that. Give me that.
On first down, Wilson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times you just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go, D.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing is Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Jennings was the one he was looking for, and it's 3rd and short. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march up another 15 against your squad.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Let's go, touchdowns, baby.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Marr now to add the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Chris Carson trotting back out there. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
That's so educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. The Seahawks on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Let's pin the mirrors back and go.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will get to him behind the line, but they're out of timeouts, remember, and the clock continues to wind down. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. So we have reached halftime here. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run with Elliott. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Watch the backer, watch the backer.
On second down, it's Elliott. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. The Cowboys on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Rodriguez operating from the gun. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Grant. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
No. Wait. Right there. 54 Mike.
From the gun, Rodriguez. This complete to Henry over the middle. And Henry's hit. He lost the football. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That second down play nets a -4.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. Throw right side, going to be caught by Higbee. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead, but coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they get a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
To throw on second down, Rodriguez. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Here's Elliott. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Jackson options out left. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Rodriguez to throw on 3rd down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Henry. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It was pretty evident in reading everything, hearing these guys talk, that this was a deal they wanted to get done. They know how valuable he is to this team.
Absolutely a key component to what they do and what they do well. And if they want to continue to have success in the future, they knew they needed him, and they got the deal done.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 8.
Come to my work. We want it. Come to my work.
Looking to throw. Rodriguez. He's going to loft one. It's caught at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
This is Elliott, and he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
1 receiver to the left is Cooper. 1 man in the backfield, that's Elliott on 2nd and goal. To throw is Rodriguez. Off play action. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. The sack by Robert Quinn.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Rodriguez now. From the gun, he'll throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Hunter Henry. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Cowboys add on.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they can get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there and a first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Wilson now throwing again. He's got a first down. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. That's picked up by the Cowboys.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget. Absolutely.
Watch 54. It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
Again, it's Elliott. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been tough to stop. 8 for 10 so far. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Rodriguez. And the Seahawks defense gets to him and they bring him down. Robert Kimdichie able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they've made some good adjustments, though. He's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing him all sorts of trouble.
Now it's Wilson, and this will be incomplete. physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked by Deontay Thompson. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
Here we go.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. To throw again on second down. Wilson is complete to Lockett. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 2.
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
Well, I do have one word for that touch. Down for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon.
Come on, fellas.
And out now come the Cowboys. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They start on the ground with Elliott. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line that hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
They go to Elliott again. It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Cowboys, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.